Hi, yo guys, so I saw a comment on a video, mainly just like talking about the issues with Bridger Western, and I was looking at the comments and I saw this comment mention that there's an issue with this game that no one seems to be talking about. So I wanted to talk about this issue, but before we get into this, I'm trying to become the best ear mixer around, and I need your help to do so. A like, comment, subscribe to the channel would help out tremendously. Let's get into the video. And really getting into the meat and bones of things, the issue is mainly about the age wipe that has been touted to come back. It was in the game when it first came out, but it's no longer in the game currently. And that is where if you get to, well, as you see, I'm 54 right now. If you get to a certain age, let's say 8 years old, anything after that you could just wipe from old age, i.e. your character dies from old age. And so I wanted to talk about some issues I'd have and why I think if this update did come to the game where you do perma-wipe from old age, I think it could really kill this game. Not as in like, I would say not kill us in, oh, the game has no more players, but more in the sense that it really dampened the potential of this game going out to like a broader community instead of just like a JoJo Roblox community. Alright, so my very first issue I have personally with the age wipe is that it's currently, as the game is right now, it is very hard to obtain stands, and even just the general difficulty of getting one in a public lobby, not to even talk about like exploiters just spawning in, stealing the Saint part straight away and going. It's very hard to get a stand, and I know from experience, I've seen people, you can lose a lot of years from your character just chasing one Saint part, and you don't even get it most of the time, which is kind of crazy. And with it now being that there's exploiters in almost every lobby you are in these days, it's nearly impossible to get a Saint part currently. And so with age wiping, you barely even get to spend time with your character if you do get to like the age of 45 of your character or 50, going for one corpse part in these filled servers. And obviously I think this rise in exploiters, I would probably put it down to skins being added to the game, but I think that's a conversation for another day. But my second point on why I think age wiping shouldn't be in the game is that with some of these stands like Golden Experience Requiem and D4C, which have crazy obtainment methods, obviously like Golden Experience Requiem got removed, but like it would make these type of stands very, very scarce and very rare to see in public servers, as it'd be very hard to get without a friend helping you. And I guess you could see this as a good thing. Obviously these overpowered stands aren't in every lobby, no one has them, and only the true grinders would have them. I guess you can see it that way, but to me, I see it as a bad thing, as it de-incentivizes you to PvP people. Because imagine you've been grinding for hours, even days, for Golden Experience Requiem. Let's just hypothetically assume it's still in the game and it still has the same obtainment method as before. So you've got your 50k XP, you have to get your kill streak with Golden Experience, like you have to have Gyro. It's crazy. And if you don't have a friend helping you, it's very long, I can't lie. And that sort of caveats into my main issue entirely with age wiping, and that is, obviously, as I said earlier, it de-incentivizes PvP. Unless you team on someone, people won't really want to PvP because you can't really guarantee most of the time that you'll win like 70 or 60% of your fights on your own. So unless you have a stockpile of dog beans, people won't really want to risk their stand, as they've spent hours and days, as I said earlier, grinding for that said stand. Or if you have a stand with a cool skin, like if I had the Oreo King Crimson, for example, I wouldn't really want to put that on the line when I could get some good stuff for that King Crimson, and I could lose it permanently if I was just stupidly PvPing the people. But what I will say is, at least dog beans are pretty straightforward to get currently. Otherwise, it'd probably be low-key over for us all. Honestly, yeah, those are my 3 quick points on why I think age wiping is bad. But I don't like complaining without a solution I think we could bring. So I think my solution to this age wiping issue, if it ever did get added in, would be to make the age mechanic in this game more like Sifu, which it already kind of is. And if you've never played Sifu before, pretty much you start off as a young man in your early 20s, and just like this game, if you die, you get older. And it's pretty much like a revenge story on you getting back at the people who killed your father in the game. And so just like Sifu, I think bringing a mechanic where it makes getting older a punishment also gives you some benefits to being older, I think is a good balance and middle ground for this game. And what I would say is, if you made it so that, like Sifu, where the younger you are, the more health you have, but the less damage you do compared to the older you are. Like in Sifu, for example, when you are old, like in your 70s on that game, you do crazy amounts of damage, because in martial arts, typically, the older you are while practicing martial arts, the more proficient you will be using your body to perform attacks and moves and takedowns and all that. So obviously in Sifu, you do more damage the much older you are. And so I think in Bridge of Western, I would say, obviously the older you are, the more damage you do, because you're more experienced in the field, you're more proficient with your stand. So I feel like that would be a cool way to balance age. And obviously because you're older, you have less health. I feel like a system like this in this game would be great, as it removes the annoyance of permadeath, but also keeps a balance to getting old. So you can't just be running around like you're in your 20s or something. I also think you should have more stamina if you are younger compared to older. So then it gives stand builds more for us as the players to think about, because if I'm a King Crimson user, I might be like, you know what, I want to be old because yeah, I have free runner, so I have more stamina, but I'll take a hit on my stamina just so I'm more of a glass cannon, so I'll have less health but I'll do way more damage. So if I go into a time race and chop someone, I'm doing 80% of the health with just one chop. And I feel like that'd be a really cool balance to have. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I think I've covered everything I want to really say on age wiping. I didn't want to stay too long yapping. But let me know down below if you agree with my takes, if you disagree. Also let me know what you want, what you'd want to see for age wiping. Should it be in the game, should it not be in the game? Or if you have any changes you'd like to add to it or revise from what I've said or what you've heard. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like, comment, subscribe, we'll be back. But yeah, peace guys.